try and I African teacher. I never believe. I always early. I never have sent.
At Inner City Dub, Western Kingston, you know, weekly Monday night roots rock reggae session, you know. But Inner City Dub is a means of us bringing the conscious music to the inner city once more. Because if you check the reality, most of the sessions that keep in the inner city is hardcore dancehall. We know dancehall kind of like promote a whole heap and not so the loveliness of ness, you know. So you know, the roots music now kind of get you in tune with the loveliness, the goodness, the righteousness, you know. So it's trying to bring that atmosphere once more to the inner city.
It seemed like you managed to bring people not just from the inner city but from all over to come down here.
Yeah man, because that's the sadness of it, because it's keeping and it seems like the inner city people ain't so in tuned into it. They are so wedlocked and in love with the hardcore dancers that to come and snap all night to a roots rock session, they're like not really digging it. You know, so it's really, you find so the patrons that following it are the persons from uptown and foreigners and so on. You know, well, it's kind of, you can't ever blame the people too. You know, it's their fault, but it's not their fault also, because the higher powers have socially engineered it like that. You know, because if you study the history of the music, you recognize it from the King Bob Marley transition in 81, and they just dancehall come on the scene. Dancehall just become the popular music. You know, unlike reggae, reggae was never Jamaica's popular music. When reggae came about in the late 60s and the glory decade of the 70s, it was not the popular music of Jamaica because it was not accepted. It was still the rebels music, it was still the background, underground music. But when dancehall come on the scene, dancehall was grandly accepted by the higher powers because dancehall is not a revolutionary music in a sense. You know, it's a merriment music. You know, while reggae is not mere merriment, it's revolution. It's evolution, it's enlightenment. And the leaders don't really want you to rebel or be revolutionary or worse, or be enlightened. So you know, so reggae was never the popular music. You know, so like dancehall become the popular music and it's still the popular music. And reggae is still ostracized and put on sideline and was taken away and exiled overseas. So you find that the Europeans are more in tune and in love to reggae than even Jamaicans or originators of reggae. You know, you hear some teenagers in Europe, they are playing Crazy Burning Spear and Israel Vibration, while the teenagers in Jamaica are playing Mavado and Vibes Cartel. They're not digging Israel Vibration or a Burning Spear, you know? So that's a sad reality of what it is, you know?
Talk about the entrepreneurial spirit here and the act of self-sufficiency in regards to keeping your own show and selling certain products.
Yeah man, that's what iNation is all about, you know, because iNation Books and Necessities represent that, self-reliance, collective security. You know, we don't seem to be empowered by the system. You know, we stay outside of the system, we live outside of it, we live outside of it and empower ourselves outside of it. So it's self-sufficiency. You see, we don't have a sponsor for Inner City Dub, we're doing it for 1 year now. And we do it out of our own cause and will and purpose, that's what I'm saying. And then it's a communal atmosphere as well, because you have the Benji Yatties, you have the craftsman, you have the peanut person, I with the books, you know, all different ones just come and them set up them stuff and just, you know, the African marketplace as well. Well, iNation Books and Necessities really come about from reading Shit of the Earth by Frantz Fanon, the boss, you know. Yeah, so it's from reading that book now, the consciousness, the hunger just come in now, because I wasn't exposed to that type of literature before. That was the first book I really exposed I to black writers, you know, African-centered consciousness, and it's from reading that book now, the hunger just come in. Well, after Wretched of the Earth, I read it's 4 books, which says the cornerstone of iNation Books and Necessities. And it'll be Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon, another book named Niggas to Gods by Akil, and a book named Iceman Inheritance by Michael Bradley, and then a 4th book called First Steps to Freedom by Ronald Shan. So like those 4 books I read like in the immediate like a 2-month period. You know, and from that now, head just bust up heaven, just open up and us know say, all right, no more rebelling, it's now a revolution time. You know, so it's no longer just moving off a passion, now you have substance. You move off a substance. The first revolution and the ultimate revolution is within self, you know. You know, you have to revolve within self, you have to evolve self, you have to change self, you have to change your consciousness, your identity, you know. So that is the ultimate revolution. So even that for I personally, because I said personally it was just being like a rebel, you just rebel, you know, after just passion, you know. But when you read now and get the substance now, then you really make the change. I implement and manifest the change, you know. So it's reading give you substance. Well, reading is key, you know. It's what I'm saying, because it's like, if you don't exercise your body, you know your body become lackadaisical and prone to all different type of illness. So the same way as the mind, reading is a means of exercising the mind. So if you don't read, it's like the mind just become lazy and just impressionable. Anything anybody can just feel it, or they can just manipulate you and you just turn a puppet to anyone. Well, you know, while you read, now you open up your heavens. You know? You can make more positive and concrete decisions for yourself. Jamaicans are like an apple in the eye of white supremacy, you know. Because in a sense, Jamaicans seem like so rebellious people, but yet still we are so much manipulated and so much socially engineered and mentally enslaved to the system. You know? The Jamaican culture, everybody celebrate, but Mariam Annie tell you that your culture is your immune system. I will see how unhealthy our culture is. You know, the violence, the decadence. But yet still it's a culture that is celebrated worldwide.
What do you think about the concept? Because people always say, you know, Jamaicans were the militant ones that were dropped here, but you may have a little insurrection a while ago, but you don't really have anyone here trying to take over the country. Independence was given. It wasn't something that was fought for and taken.
Yeah, man, because the real revolutionaries were Marcus Garvey and Leonard Howell, you know, in the latter part of within colonialism days. Those were the two revolutionaries. You know, while the two puppet, the two sellout, Norman Manley and Alexandra Bustamante, they used to get rid of the two revolutionaries. You know, they used Bustamante to get rid of Leonard Howell, and they used Norman Manley to get rid of Marcus Garvey. You know, and use the two puppets to be the founding fathers of Jamaica. You know, so that means, you know, Jamaica is a sellout country. Something can be granted to you. Anything is granted to you is not really for your own benefit. It's for the person that granted to you. That benefit much more than you. So we're getting a granted independence, that means it not really serve us. It has served the slave master them. You know, if we really take it now, then you know, so here we could have make better use of it. You know? So if we did follow the principles of Marcus Garvey and Leonard Howell, and they were the founding fathers of this so-called independent nation, then the people were more African-centered, and the people were less destructive, self-destructive.
What aspect of Leonard Howell inspires you more? Was it the entrepreneurial spirit? Was it the perseverance after all the oppression that he felt? Which aspect inspired you?
Everything, you know, because it's like Leonard Howell was like a Renaissance man, you know. You know, everything, the whole collective security, the whole mysticism, you know, the whole self-reliance, the whole nation building, you know, because, you know, it's the first, like even this year Tivoli Guard is recognized as a nation within a nation. But Leonard Howell Pinnacle was the first nation within a nation. Because if you check the reality, Tivoli is even like a replica of Pinnacle, you know, but not with the whole wholesomeness and righteousness and spiritualness, you know, but with a political sense, you know. Yeah, the leaders, them will build Tivoli Guard, they already have Pinnacle as the blueprint, you know. So these are the things, you know.
Do you think there's a correlation between that? The fact that they're self-sufficient and kind of, they weren't necessarily a militia, but they were building enough strength to, I guess, kind of stand up for themselves.
Yeah, man, because at no time you're supposed to be, at no time you're supposed to amass certain power where you can be a real threat to the powers that be, you know. Them like to give you out a pseudo power, yes, you know, but when them see you acquire the real deal, them will get rid of you. You know, so it's like Pinnacle was the real deal, you know. Pinnacle was the real deal. If they allow Leonard Howell another 10 years, the whole Jamaica would have become Pinnacle. You know, Pinnacle would have spread over to the whole Jamaica.
Speaking on Thomas and Cara for me and Patrice Lumumba in regards to what they mean to you or the inspiration you got from their work.
Yeah, them on the key, you know, because they were like real revolutionaries like Leonard Howell and like a Marcus Garvey, you know, who now bow to the system and different Africanness to the fullness. You know, not colonialism and neo-colonialism, you know, but the real deal. You know, so these men are icons, you know, just go in the same portfolios as Steve Biko, you know, the real Mackay.
What inspiration would you give to people that kind of on the fence and they still have that fear, a self-doubt of moving forward and doing stuff on their own that will benefit them and others around them?
Yeah, man, but Garvey tell you saying confidence, once your confidence, you win before you even start, And without it, you are twice defeated, So it's confidence. Whatever you have to do, you have to just bold up. You see what I saying? Just attack it firmly and consciously and confidently, And then if you have confidence, you have to have knowledge. So that's why reading come in even again. Because you're not going to have confidence in yourself or within a thing if you have no knowledge of it. So the key thing is to acquire knowledge. We must become sovereign learners. So you don't really depend upon a school or a teacher. But you know, so you need to know about that, so you know where to go and acquire the knowledge about it. Because you check it, most of the greatest men were self-taught. You have a book, you have one of the best authors from Jamaica, Joel Augustus Rogers from Westmoreland. Self-educated, self-taught. And even Du Bois said he no other person has revealed more fact about the Negro, the African, than he. And he is one of Jamaica's very much unsung heroes. You have never heard government paid respect to him yet. A man like that to write so much books where all the greats them come and utilize. John Henry Clark, Ben Yak, and all them can attest to the greatness of a Joel Rogers.
When you started off the books, right, were you getting a fight from certain people in regards to the idea you had and trying to expose people to?
Yeah, man, you get fight every day, man, even from the people me I try help. When them come and look at the table and say, Robbie, a Rasta book you said, oh, black book there, all these type of comments, But they have made them things inspire even more, but say, are you responsible? When you see them behave them way, you don't see your work have to go on. You see why your work is vital and needed. Yeah.
Speak about the entertainers, like reading the books and kind of putting that message through.
Yeah, man. Initially, that was the aim initially, because it's like start reading. You say, John, the whole nation needs to read them book here. But then you say like you can't even go around and sell individually books. So you say, all right, get the artists to start read the book, and then you can put through the message now through the music. That was the whole strategic move of Nation Book and Necessities when I started out on my bicycle. So it was targeting the regular established artists, the Beanie Man, the Bounty Killers, the Vibes Cartel, the Movadas, all them were my customers in the beginning. You ride on and link them at the different stores, at the different studios, But then within that moment, within the mystics of Mystic, just rise up a whole new batch of artists who represent what I was representing, and the quote-unquote reggae revival artists just spring up right around I Nation at the epicenter of the whole reggae revival.